What's up everybody, HeroicBankshots here.
And HeroicMushroom for the Combat Axe Camp Hotspot tutorials for the very last maps before the DLCs come out. And we're going to start off with a bit of Turbine this time.
Yeah, Turbine was actually really difficult. There's not many levels, so we're having to do many rock banks. We came up with 3 that we're pretty happy with, and we'll show you them now.
The first one is going to be up in this little spot over here by that window there, the turret. You're going to walk up into this corner. If you see this person shooting there, you can just push in behind this little gate here. Aim the bottom of your Combat Axe cursor on that little tiny little peak there of the rock, and it should get a nice little skim bank over to that window. It actually bounces and hits the opposite wall and then skims right back along the player who's on the turret there. So it's very effective.
Yeah, now the second bank is actually on the opposite end of the map, across the way into that little part where those people snipe from that room. So you're just going to jump over these rocks and you're going to push into the rocks here. There's a nice little spot where you can just wedge yourself into. Now you're going to see a little shadow on the rock. You're going to move to the left a little bit. And you're going to line your Combat Axe vertical, not with the middle, but with the right of that shadow on the rock. And that's going to bounce, I think, twice into that room off the tip of the little roof there. And that's going to get a nice little bank into those campers down there.
That is a really cool shot. It's a lot like the first one. It skims right across the face of that, so if they're standing anywhere along there, they're going to get hit. And now the last shot for Turbine is going to be up on the actual turbine itself. Those players that camp on the top there with the snipers. Now you want to run into the little hole here and push right up into the turbine and the rock, and then aim right up at the rock there and move to your right so that you can see the edge of the rock there. And again, like the first bank, it's going to be off that little tip of the rock and it's going to go up and get a nice little kill there. Check out this kill cam. It actually floats right over the turbine and goes right up over there, so it will hit people running across there, going between that turbine and the other turbine.
Now moving on to Yemen, we've got our first spot. This one was a pretty freaking crazy spot. I'm going to let Mushroom dictate this one a bit because he did find the spot.
This one you kind of push into this corner here, and it's kind of the middle of that rock there, and you're going to aim up, and there's a little a little diamond in the sky there, and you want to aim your Combat Axe reticle right at the top of that. And obviously I adjusted a bit there. I have to go up a little higher so that it doesn't get stuck in the tree, and it gets a nice cross-map skim bank. This is just one of the hardest spots to hit, but one of the most effective if you do. It comes right down into that camping room there, straight through the mesh, and thank you Black Ops 2 for fucking up the kill cam.
You really got to find that little gap in the trees. The next one's going to be off a dome roof onto the spot that's actually right next to where you just hit there, those people that camp on that rock. Now you're going to put the tip of your Combat Axe on the top leaf there, and the middle of your Combat Axe wedged into the left, the bottom leaf. So that's just going to bank right off that dome. See those people that sit in that little rock surface there? That's just going to kill them. It swipes across the surface of that rock, so they can be sitting anywhere on that rock and they'll get hit.
Now the last bank that we have on Yemen is over in this little spot over here where people camp all the time doing those snipes across the map. You're going to push into the same spot as the first one, except you push it to the right side and then aim up at this tree here just above that power line there, and it swipes across. And again, all 3 of these banks on Yemen actually swipe across the face of these places, so if they're standing along any sort of area along there, it's going to hit them. They're very effective.
Now moving on to Nuketown 2025, this one was actually requested by you guys quite a lot, but this one was really tricky to find like camper spots as such, so we made it sort of a high traffic area bank shot. So jump out into the garden bed and push into that little letterbox there, and you're just going to go right off the very left tip of that of the divot in that, what is it, a sign? And that's just going to move on to that little high traffic area to get those people running out of the spawns, and you're actually really well hidden by the sign itself.
That is a really good shot there, and we're going to move on to the next high traffic area on this map, which is over in this little spot over here. It's another spawn shot, and you're going to just come back to this little hedge here in between the 2 hedges, and you're going to throw right above the second line in that window and in line with the left roof there, and it's going to go right over the top of the map. It's going to hit the edge of the garage and it's going to bounce right into that high traffic spawn location there. So if you're going for spawn shots, this is definitely one to try.
Yeah, just straight off the spawn, run into that spot and you might get a nice little kill. And the last one we found was coming out of the bus in the middle, or the truck. So if you see someone coming down that middle flank area, you're just going to skim it right off. This one doesn't have a push-in point as such, but just skim it right off the edge of that roof there, and it's just going to fly over and trickle into this guy's head as he's coming down through that little spot. As you know, people walk through that all the time.
Now guys, be sure to keep an eye out for the DLC version of Combat Axe Camp Hotspots. Check out Heroism Chapter 1, Part 1 and Part 2, the previous episode of You Say We Bank, and Top 5 or Top 10.
We'll catch you later.